safe. Alright guys, so we're here on a solo meta lab this Monday, July 8th, 2019. Why? Well, I did have a guest host planned. It was going to be our ginger superhero, Mr. PJ Bolin. But unfortunately, him and his wife are in exciting times right now in the hospital. They are having a baby. So good luck to PJ and Kat, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful baby. So, that said, I'm gonna go through the normal flow of things, catch up on news, all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I will be very open to lots of questions today, because I can only maintain the conversation so much. Tom is currently watching Weird Al. As we know, Jay is out for a couple weeks, and everything's just kind of been wacky to me. So, that said, let's start talking with my week in HeroClix. How's my week in HeroClix been? Well, if you didn't catch Patreon Hangout last night, I went to my Regenesis event on Saturday, but I was judging. But I did get a chance to play, because when we have a bye, the judge plays against them, even though they'll still get their bye points. Gives the judge and the player a chance to really give things a try. And I did get to play all 3 rounds this time around, which was exciting times. And in general, I really liked the event, but the progression of the points did mean that month 1 was basically dominated by our favorite Adamantium 3-clawed friend, Mr. Wolverine. And it's like, there's not even shades of gray on it. He's a dominant force in the format. So, that said, I don't think it's something worth worrying about, because it's this... The whole within format thing is a hard thing to maintain. I'll never understand how Magic the Gathering does it, because they are really good with their in-seal format sort of situation. So, just brace yourself. If you still haven't gone to your month 1 yet, find a way to focus fire Wolverine like multiple times in a row. Especially if he's on a Jean Grey School Higher Learning theme team, he's healing for free, and that is gross. I think one of the most dominant teams consistently has been the combination of 2 Wolverines at 80 points and the Phoenix. I believe that, I don't know if that works out or not. I don't know. I've seen something like that where it's like Wolverine, and Phoenix. I don't know if the points worked out or how that worked out, but it ended up being like Phoenix chucking 2 Wolverines. Or maybe it was like Wolverine and... I think Phoenix is 50 points at a low point now that I'm thinking about it. But what I do want to take a second to do today, since we have some time behind us, is we are going to take a little bit of time to look at Regenesis through the eyes of the forums in HC Realms. Those wonderful guys in the Sets and Rumors threads that really keep us informed ahead of the unit section. So I'm going to double check just to make sure the unit section isn't up to date with the set. And I think we got a little bit of time to go through that. And since we only have the one opinion this time around, I don't know how to get beyond that. So, where are we sitting at? That's not the right set. So we're still only at Wolverine, Cyclops, Kitty Pryde. Okay, cool. So we got the rumor post. So let's do that, shall we? Let's see, HC Realms scene. We got the camera only scene. Nope, that's not it. It's this. Get rid of that. Do that, and then do that. All right. So we start with figure number 1, Wolverine. This is the one that is dominating the 200-point realm. Now, what you're going to hear a lot today is good on an ID card, because good on an ID card. You know, there's a lot. Almost every figure that isn't a chase is covered by an ID card, if I remember correctly, except Gambit, I think, maybe. So we're going to start with Wolverine. He's playable 120 or 70 points. Avengers, Jean Grey for School for Higher Learning, Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men keywords. He's got the X-Men team ability. And he's got ignores hindering for movement. I stand with Wolverine is his trait that gives him the 1.1. So the difference on that is this healing factor trait. It gives him tough. He's traded with toughness, but if it's not a Jean Grey School for Higher Learning theme team, beginning of the when he clears action tokens, he heals a click. But if it is a Jean Grey School for Higher Learning theme team that he's on, he does heal 1 click for free every turn. In addition to which, he's he's got this 2 stop clicks, which come with combat reflexes and super senses. He's great. He's a fantastic call-in. He's also budget-minded for those of you who may not have their hands on the super rare Wolverine, who's going for extremely high prices. This is a common in the set. Right now, he's selling for about $5. He will drop once this set has finally filtered out to everybody. So there's that. So as a call-in, this Wolverine is fantastic because stop clicks are great on call-ins. You can't be one-shot. You have to commit 2 attacks to score the call-in, and that could be an overreach in a lot of cases. So, and 120 points is actually probably a little easier to call in than 150, but 70 points also still reasonable for a 75-point plus character. Honestly, you're probably going to see 001 more than you're going to see 001.1. So, but we move next to Cyclops. 7 range, 120 points for 70 points. He's got the Utopia, X-Men, or Politician keywords. He's got his. So what will happen is you'll either have a Utopia theme effect or a Jean Grey School for Higher Learning effect for all these guys. Awesome. Our Discord has turned into a Who Knows More About Star Trek game. It's kind of hilarious right now. So if you have a Utopia effect, you'll have the extra card. Now, for Cyclops' case, he is traded with Leadership, which is a great power to be traded. He also has free if another friendly character hit an opposing character this turn, heal Cyclops 1 click. If he's in a Utopia team, if another friendly character hit an opposing character, you heal Cyclops 2 clicks. That is disgusting. These guys are really, really strong in the right cases, in a lot of the cases in this format. The 200-point month 1 format. But that said, Cyclops, again, as a call-in, fantastic. In addition to which, he doesn't have the precision strike that his super rare counterpart has, but he does have the psychic blast at all times, which means he isn't required to be at your opponent's side of the table for that. He is limited in the fact that you can't call him in with a 50-point character, much like the Wolverine, 70 or 120 points. But as a call-in with stop clicks, the real Cyclops don't have stop clicks. You got to work to get that stuff up. So done. All right. Next up, we have Kitty Pryde, possibly making the Kitty Pryde card super usable because she's got the X-Men team ability. She's 60 or 40 points. Super easy to call in. Excalibur, Guardians of the Galaxy, Jean Grey for Higher Learning, and X-Men keywords. She ignores elevated, hindering, blocking, and characters for movement, so why give her phasing when you could just give her the effects of phasing? She's got a trait, Lockheed, once per game, generate a Lockheed bystander. If you are part of the Jean Grey for Higher Learning theme team, guess what? That Lockheed is now autonomous as well. Cool. She's got enhancement and empower throughout the dial. She's got special movement power on a couple more clicks that gives her sidestep and stealth. Overall, for a 40-point call-in, I think we have Rusty's replacement possibly being able to call in a dude who can energy explode because Lockheed has running shot, energy explosion, energy shield, and is tiny. So he's hard to hit at range. He's able to hit large groups of dudes. And if he on the turn that he call in with Kitty Pryde, he can possibly hit for an extra 2 damage. Kitty Pryde can make other guys do a lot of damage. I think Kitty Pryde is definitely making all of her ID cards now more of a option, to say the least. Next up, we have Storm. She's a Utopia character. She's 70 or 50, 6 range, X-Men team ability. So she's got the wind at my command. Free, choose one, Force Blast or Sidestep. Storm can use the chosen power until your next turn. If it's a Utopia themed team, she's got Force Blast and Sidestep. She has special attack power across first 4 of 70 or first 2 of 50. Call down the lightning. Free, make a range attack targeting a single opposing character that Storm knocked back this turn. This character still has to be within range and line of fire. So that's a cool effect if you can pull off the Force Blast effect on her. As a call-in, I'm super cool with all of this. At at a 50-point call-in, it's a flexible storm that can do damage and do knockback. I think that kind of is in her favor. In addition to which, if you're looking for a longer reach, you can get that running shot and then pick the sidestep instead of the force blast, and then sidestep her out of Danger's Bay to be a liability. So as a 50-point call-in, I think we have this storm, and we also have the idea of the 85-point storm that we're all looking at, the Asgardian storm, and we have the new 75-point storm coming in. So Storm's ID card was already good and has just gotten better. So there's nothing wrong with more on this. And here we're going into what I think is going to be the best ID card call-in of the set, and that is Beast. He's playable at 70 or 40. He's got Avengers, Defenders, Jean Grey School, X-Men, Animal, and Scientist keywords. He ignores elevated and hindering for movement. It is a very colorful, close combat focused style. He's got Letting Out the Beast as his trait, which is free. Choose one, Outwit, or Battle Fury and modify Beast combat values by +1. Beast can use chosen effect until your next turn. So, and of course, if you go with the Jean Grey School, or sorry, not the Jean Grey, yeah, if you get the Jean Grey School theme team with him, you choose one. It's either Outwit and Perplex or Battle Fury with Willpower. All of that ultimately doesn't matter because Beast, as a call-in for 40 points, with able to give +1 to the stats that he does have, giving him Battle Fury or Outwit, I think that's a super potent call-in card. I think it's probably one of the most potent call-in in the set as far as like not having a version that's better than him. So I think there's a lot of awesome going on in just this common figure number 5 Beast. This is a great set to really kind of bulk up what we're putting in the sideline, I gotta say. And some people will poo-poo the idea. I'm sorry you're not on that hype train, but I do believe we're looking at some really cool stuff. So, all right. Next up, Emma Frost. X-Men team ability, 6 range, 90 or 60 points. Hellfire Club, Hellions, Utopia, X-Men. If it's, again, it's the Cyclops' right trait. So if it's not a Cyclops themed team, dominating or unbreakable at a moment's notice. Protected, penetrating Psychic Blast. Constant. Free, choose one. Invulnerability or Psychic Blast. Emma Frost can choose to pose chosen power until your next turn. If it's a theme team, Utopia theme team specifically, it is Invulnerability, Psychic Blast, Protected Psychic Blast. That's it. She's just solid. I don't think does Emma Frost have an ID card? If she does, 60 points, not terrible. Choose some invulnerable. Go with the Psychic Blast. She's not Psychic Blastable, which goes a long way. But she does have a bit of a dial, so you can get like damage past it. Like 6 damage will obliterate this dial if you can't roll the shape change. But she does have shape change, which is a level of evasion. And if you have enough sidestep and moving around with her, you could possibly get some flexibility out of this character. So I'm gonna say Emma Frost. If I'm sitting here playing the I wonder if game, and I should really just have the HC Realms unit section open just to check, because I think she does have an ID card for some reason, but I could be wrong. Emma Frost. Yes, she does. Okay, and she's got a Headmaster ID, which gives mind control. So do with that as you will. Now the next guy is going to be one of those characters that's got to be good on his own laurels, because unfortunately he doesn't have an ID card to call him in with, and that is Monsieur Remy LeBeau, Gambit himself. 5 range with 2 targets with the X-Men team ability, 80 points or 50 points. Jean Grey School for higher learning keywords, along with Marauders, X-Men Spy. His I stand with Wolverine, which he's got sidestep and stealth as part of his trait, which also becomes sidestep and stealth. I think it's a special attack that changes. Yeah. Okay, so he's got free, choose one, energy explosion and force blast, or quake and giant reach 2. Gambit can choose chosen effects. And then let me show you a little trick. Becomes what it is on the Wolverine theme team, which is energy explosion, force blast, quaking, giant reach. There's no picking. So it seems to be a common theme where you like pick, kind of go with your own flow. So like this Gambit is really super cool, casual type character. I like this type of Gambit. I think he's super flexible in what he does, but he's not like the oomphy Gambits we've had in the past. But we do have another version of Gambit ahead. I believe it's the Horseman of Apocalypse one, so we'll see what that looks like, or Death Incarnate. I'm not sure which version it is, but either way, we do have another version of Gambit to look at. This one, he's a glass cannon, and emphasis on the glass part for sure. All right, next up we have Magneto. 120 points or 80 points. Controlling magnetic fields is his either or, where opposing characters in 2 squares in line of fire consider Magneto adjacent for movement purposes. If it's a Utopia themed team, though, that becomes 4 squares. It's a pretty big bubble of stopping characters. And then he's got this special defense power, which is really cool. Magnetic forces to repel and attract. Energy shield deflection, willpower, and barrier as free, but only to generate 1 blocking terrain marker. When moving, opposing characters adjacent to the barrier marker must roll for breakaway if they don't already need to. And I like this guy as a call-in just for pure disruption. Putting a piece of barrier after attacking goes a long way, or after TKing, or whatever you want Magneto to do, I think is super super effective. And I like it a lot, to say the least. So yeah, I think Magneto makes for a good call-in. 80 points is a little bit of a stretch, so you are putting comparisons to him and Jean Grey. But again, when I say these are good for call-ins, I'm also thinking about the budget, because we do have the also super big Phoenix Force Magneto, which is neat. But, either way, very cool figure, and I like him. I like him for what he does. It's a neat effect, and I don't think it's too overblown, but it is an extra option you can consider for the ID card. Now, we're getting to the rares, so this is the less budget-minded right now. These could start to drop, like I said, as the set becomes more and more plentiful. Because right now, it's all in limited purchasing levels right now. All right, so we have Rachel Summers. X-Men team ability, 7 range, 100 or 50 points. Excalibur, Jean Grey School, Phoenix Force, Starjammers, X-Men, and future keywords. Okay, so she's got her special trait, Unleash the Power of the Phoenix, which is telekinesis, and telekinesis as free, but only if Rachel Summers was targeted by an attack since your last turn. And on a Wolverine-themed team, or the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, that is telekinesis and telekinesis for free. That's so strong. That's why double Wolverine at 70 points is 140. Add in a Rachel Grey for 50. Deal with my Wolverines. Oh, by the way, they heal. Yeah, this is just really good. This is callable with the Wanted poster. So guess what? The Wanted poster has a reason for existing now, and this is not a bad reason to exist. Especially when you consider that we're talking about a character who's hypersonic. Hypersonic call-ins are super useful in the fact that they can get rid of themselves. They don't need a whole lot extra, and they can do it without the need for a full thing, and then sidestep, a full running shot sidestep sort of situation. So, yeah. Interesting question came from the chat that I want to run is how many characters have the Starjammers keyword? It's not a plentiful one, that's for sure. And aside from her, there's nothing modern age. Because the newest figure with it is Cyclops from Uncanny X-Men. Anyway, so yeah, Rachel Summers is a really good call, and even if you're just using it for DK or if you're using it for a solid hypersonic. Next up, we have Namor. 100 points or 70 points. X-Men team ability. Atlantis, Defenders, Illuminati, Invaders, Utopia, X-Men, and Ruler keyword. His trait Atlantean, regeneration, but only he's aquatic, and as well regeneration, but only if he occupies water terrain. Okay, so we only have one version. Oh, okay, sorry. And then it's the Imperiex Rex that changes, okay, which is the special. I don't know what that is, if it's the movement power or not. But his Imperious, I think that is the move power, which gives him, Imperious Rex gives him charge flurry, and when he uses charge, you may choose not to half his speed. If you do, he must move in a direct path. Whereas Imperious Rex on a Cyclops themed team is flurry, charge, do not half speed. That's scary. That is scary. Whew. Charge flurry with a 9 movement? put this guy and Spider-Man together. We're gonna watch people weep uncontrollably. Ooh. Oh no, but sorry, the not half speed. I of course forgot the stipulation of that would have to be a Utopia theme team, so those two wouldn't be together. But there's something there that really needs to. Ooh. All right. Next up, we have Rogue. X-Men team ability, 90 points or 60 points. Brotherhood of Mutants, Jean Grey School, and X-Men keywords. And then she's got a special defense, Southern Belle, invulnerability and willpower, but she's got a trait, let me give your powers a spin for a while, Shug. While Rogue hits a single opposing character with a close attack after resolution, you may choose a standard power that character can use. Till you choose again, Rogue can choose the chosen power and has printed range value of the hit character. Her special defense gives her invulnerability and willpower. The change when you're using a Jean Grey theme team is when Rogue hits a single opposing character with a close attack after resolution, you may choose a standard power that character can use. Until you choose again, Rogue can use the chosen power and has a printed range value of the hit character, and the hit character can't use the chosen power. That's an extra thing. So if you have like range combat expert, or even like a defense power, standard power of the player. Wow. So I hit you, I take your invincible. I'm using invincible. You're not using invincible. That's cool. That's a cool effect. Especially in format. We have a Rogue card as a call-in. I'm in the middle on that one. Probably is a 60-point call-in. Not terrible if you can get that to work. I say yeah, pretty cool. Next up, we have a new Colossus, 100 or 70 points. We have had Colossus in the past. I think this one's more usable at the 70 points for call-ins. He's got a trait that gives him plasticity whenever he's holding an object and hits an opposing character with a close attack after resolution. Choose one, attack -1 or defense -1. A hit character modifies chosen combat value. Of course, if this is a Cyclops focused theme team, both of them are just modified. Deal with it. All right. But yeah, this is just your typical Cyclops or Colossus call-in. I do like the idea of the extra damage at 100 points as a call-in with Invincible, but he's outwittable and blow out of the waterable, but not terrible, not bad. All right, next up we have Iceman, Robert Drake, 80 or 50 points with the X-Men team ability, 5 range, 2 targets. Champions, Defenders, Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, and X-Men keywords. He's a Wolverine-sided dude. Watch your step. It's slippery. When Iceman hits one or more opposing characters with a ranged attack, choose one for all hit characters. Speed -2 or attack -1. Hit characters modify the chosen value. Of course, if it's a Wolverine-focused theme team, you get both. On his special defense, my Ice Slide will melt eventually. Barrier, toughness, willpower. Whenever Iceman moves after resolution of each move, you may immediately place a blocking terrain marker in a square he moved through. Remove that marker at the beginning of your next turn, even if this is lost. So, use Hypersonic with Iceman as you call in at 50 points. You move, shoot, move. You've now got 2 pieces of blocking terrain if you've properly placed them that are going to be obnoxious for your opponent to deal with. I like Iceman a lot. Very cool 50-point call-in for Iceman. This is, when I get my hands on this one's going to replace the current space that my uncommon Iceman kind of fills, because I think he's just better in every single way in that matter. And the fact that he can take care of getting rid of himself is pretty cool. So, after resolutions of each move. I hope I'm reading that right, and both parts of the Hypersonic work that way. Okay, next up we have the Hope Summers. This one is really cool, where the fact that she can share powers from a character adjacent to her, and if it's a Utopia theme team, it's okay, hold on. Sorry, so it's what she says would get 70 or 40 points. Mutant Messiah, free, choose an adjacent character. If the chosen character is adjacent until your next turn, choose an adjacent character. If the chosen character is adjacent until your next turn. Okay, so you choose an adjacent character, and as long as Hope is adjacent to the character, she has her powers from that. But the other version of that is you choose an adjacent character. If chosen, until you can use the standard powers that character can use. Adjacent can use the standard. Oh, sorry. Okay, I've read it now 3 times. The non-Utopia version gives you the power, the standard attack and damage power, whereas the Utopia gets the standard powers. There we go. Got it. All right, this Angel's cool. 70 or 40 points, X-Men team ability, Defenders, Jean Grey School, X-Men deity. Return to Earth, charge. When Angel uses it, you do not half his speed. If you do, he has passenger 0. If it's a Wolverine team, it's you charge and don't half your move. Special defense power, which gives him super senses and willpower. Just a great call-in. That's all there is to say about that. Good call-in. Danger. There's no good me call-in, so we got to look at this as a figure on board. 120 or 60 points, Shi'ar, Utopia, X-Men robot keywords. So we got a robot figure, X-Men team ability as well. Utopia defense systems is trait free. Choose a standard speed or attack power printed on this card that Danger can't already use. Danger can use a chosen power until your next turn. So you choose like stealth early or plasticity in a nutshell, or if you really need ranged combat expert at a particular time, use that. You kind of get the idea. And then what's the alternate version? Free, choose a standard power print on this card that Danger can't already use. Danger can use chosen power until your next turn. I guess she doesn't have anything special between them. Did I not choose a standard power or... Sorry, speed. It's speed or attack if it's not Utopia. It's a standard power. Sorry, I messed that up. So she's good on a Utopia theme team. Pretty base, picking her own powers. Alright. Next up, we're going into the chase area. They're mostly blasé, so I'll try to speed through these. Cannonball is yet another cannonball. Ignores and destroys blocking for movement. 60 or 40 points. Jean Grey School, New Mutants, X-Men keywords. His special movement power is blast off. It gives him sidestep. Power, improve movement, ignore characters. And move in a direct path and make a close attack targeting all characters. Cannonball move through regardless of adjacency. Instead of normal damage, hit characters are dealt Cannonball's printed damage value and are placed in a square that he did not move through adjacent to their current square. It's Cannonball. This is how he works. His blast field gives him toughness. At the end of your turn, if Cannonball moved at least one square this turn, choose one, energy shield or impervious. Cannonball can use chosen power. If it's a Jean Grey theme, you get both. It's Cannonball. If there's one character that WizKids has nailed, it is Cannonball. Like, you can't get this guy wrong. Did he move? He's tougher to kill. What does he do? He moves forward and punches everybody in the way. That's Cannonball do what Cannonball do. I hate to be kind of defeatist in tone on that one, but that's literally like it's kind of whatever it is as best as it can get. All right, next up we have Magic. Amber actually pulled this one in some of the extra packs we got. X-Men and Mystics team ability, 60 or 40 points. New Mutants, Utopia, X-Men mystical keyword. Stepping disc through limbo. So this is going to be her flip-flopping power. It's facing teleport, and when Magic uses it, she has passengers 2 and may carry characters regardless of flight. After resolutions, if she moves 5 or less, she may make a close attack modifying X minus attack minus X, where X is the number of characters she carried. She does not have that portion of it. If she moves 5 or less, she makes a close attack. Have fun with that. A special attack power she doesn't have on her first, but has on all other clicks, which is Blades Claws and Steel Energy. This is a Blades Claws character. She's got some late dial Battle Fury. I don't think there is a Magic ID card either. M-A-G-I-K. No ID card. So Magic is as Magic does. There's a place for her in a Mystical theme team. Mystical seems to like to carry things. So keep an eye open for that. And, she could be a good front line. Like, the 40-point version of her for 4 clicks, there's a lot of damage that she could possibly do that could really, really rip through some dials. So I think she will catch people off guard. That's going to be a thing I think is going to happen. It's a shame she can't use the blades when she does the move and attack, but when she does move and attack, she can still use the Steel Energies. All right, Warbird. 90 or 50 points. Jean Grey School, Shi'ar, X-Men, Cosmic, Warrior keyword. Deathbringer class. I know how to kill. Free. Choose one. Flurry or exploit weakness. You can use a chosen power. If it's a Jean Grey theme team, guess what? She's got Flurry with penetrating damage. She got both, literally, except just they work together. Traded Flurry. Ooh, that's interesting. It's a shame, once again, we're at a character with no ID card for Warbird. But that makes sense, of course, thematically. She has special defense power, Kid Gladiator's personal bodyguard, which gives her combat reflexes, invulnerability, and willpower. She only has that on her first and fourth click. It's a shame it's not a stop click. Just generally pretty good. And, you know, the idea of being able to flurry ever is just great. I like her. She's spiffy. Next up, we have Psylocke. X-Men X-Men team ability. 6 range. Did I get this? This was Jean Grey, Shi'ar, X-Men Cosmic Warrior. She's cosmic. We know Cosmic's good. Alright. Psylocke, 90 or 40 points. Excalibur, Hand, Utopia, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, Martial Artist, Spy. Cyclops is right. Psychic Bow is her trait. Incapacitate. When she uses it and hits after resolutions, choose a standard attack or defense power. The hit character can't use that. Hit character can use that. The hit character can use. That character can't use the chosen power until your next turn. So that's only on an incapacitate. She also has. When she's using Incapacitate or Psychic Blast in the Theme Team version, and she can use that, and when she uses either, so basically, if you're on a Utopia Theme Team with Psylocke, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place on that one. If you can choose between Incapacitate or Psychic Blast, and then whichever one of those you use, you actually can, anybody you hit, take away their defense or attack power. Got it. She got some sidestep. This is just a good, solid call-in. 40 points. Not bad. It's a shame she's part of a con ID, but hopefully the stock on that actually goes up, because it kind of tanked because there wasn't really a super useful Psylocke. Now we got one. I think this should super increase the stock. Okay, so we do have the prizes. All hail. The prizes are all here. Okay, let's go through this. So we have the Wolverine. He's 100 points or 70 points. Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men are his keywords. Weapon X is a trait. Free, make a close attack, but only to target an adjacent opposing character that hit Wolverine with an attack since your last turn. When a friendly character is KO'd, after resolutions, remove an action token from Wolverine. He's got a special defense power at the very end. Stop. Regeneration is free. Regeneration heals 1 click on a stop click is a nice reminder text to have. Solid call-in. 100 points. Deal 4 damage, 12 attack. Not bad. I'd probably put this as like an alternate. If I have a wanted poster and the ID card, use both as up for consideration. Cyclops, 100 or 70 points. X-Men team ability, X-Men keyword, 8 range. If you look at the dials, are almost exactly the same. And then it's just really a change in powers because he's a more range-focused character. We have the Assembling an Interdimensional X Society. During Force Construction, characters with the keywords that begin with X gain the X-Men keyword if they don't already have it. So if you're looking for some X-Force dudes or stuff like that, you can really... X-Statics can become X-Men keyworded dudes. I don't think that's really a big factor right now. Maybe when we see X-Men Adventures, we'll see what's up with that. Magneto's mental shielding helmet, which gives him protected mind control, outwit, and psychic blast. That is super cool. He's protected outwit on this dial, and he's protected psychic blast. So he's actually going to get his toughness. His toughness is useful, guys. Whoo boy, who knew that was coming? He's got special defense power on his last click. We can still do this if you all listen to me. Stop. When this click is first revealed after resolutions, heal Cyclops a number of clicks equal to the number of other friendly characters on your force. That's a little bit more effective than free regeneration. If you ask me, I think the Cyclops is a little bit more preferable. Just generally good Cyclops to call in. I like it. All right, Gambit. Marauder's monster keyword. 6 range, 2 targets, 100 points. Ignores hindering from movement. Avatar of Death. The Gambit deals penetrating damage. Noxious gas. Poison. When Gambit uses it, opposing characters within 3 squares are considered adjacent. I'm in love. I am in love. You got to take what's coming to you, Om. You got to take what's coming to you, Om. Incapacitate. When Gambit uses it as a close action, hit characters are given 2 action tokens instead and gain immobile until your next turn. That's potent. There's a team for this guy. There's a team for this guy. And I want to use it, and I want to make it. Because it's a 3-range poison. That's no damage. Just, okay, cool. I think this is the Avatar of Death, which kind of happened in limbo when Magic was transporting people. It's a really weird side story in one of the books that is just really intense. Okay, next up we have Moonstar, X-Men team ability, 6 range, 2 targets, 65 points. As Guardian, New Mutants, X-Men mystical keywords. She's got charge and flight. Oh, sorry, it's got this middle click there. That's what that's all coming from. That's Brightwind, which is her horse. She's got a special attack on her first 3 clicks, Psionic Arrows. Incapacitate when Moonstar uses it. Also deal her damage divided among hit targets. So she can use Incapacitate and deal damage. Kind of like an old school stunning blow. Next up, chosen for battle. Stop invulnerability super senses for the rest of the game. Moonstar can't be healed past this click. And this is where she kind of turns into a blazing flurrying. She's okay at best. Definitely going to be more exciting and more casual game. Archangel, no affiliation. 6 range, 2 targets, 100 points, 75 points. Are the options X Factor, X Force, X Man, Monster. I have to double check if the Angel ID card. I love that Angel is a word of Michelangelo, and therefore. Okay, cool. So Angel's ID card does allow you the student ID, and I gotta double check if the Headmaster ID. Headmaster ID does too. Archangel is callable with the ID card. Angel of Death gives him Steel Energy, but with close or range attacks. When Archangel uses it and heals, modifies defense +1 until your next turn. As a call-in, but it's a call-in with Hypersonic, so he can take care of himself with a 12 attack with Precision Strike. He's a pretty decent half decent call-in. Not bad. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, next up, Magneto, 125 points, Brotherhood of Mutants team ability. Been a while since we've seen that. Brotherhood of Mutants and Hellfire Club keywords, special attack power on his first 3 and the last 2 clicks, unbelievable destructive force, which gives him Pulse Wave, Telekinesis, and improved targeting, ignores blocking. Beat Stick Magneto. Another one to add to the call-in stack. Cool. I really like him. I mean, he's not winning the day or anything like that, but he's a good, solid running shot, high-range call-in with Pulse Wave. Yeah. All right, next up, Wolverine. We're heading into the final 2 figures, the Caveman dudes. So Wolverine's got 75 points, X-Men Brute past keywords. Eternal Struggle is the first trait on Wolverine. When Wolverine is hit with a range attack, after resolution, you may place him in an unoccupied square adjacent to the attacker. If you do, heal him 1 click, modify damage +1 if targeting a character with a range value greater than 0. He hates range guys. Ritual Battle is his defense power. Toughness, when Wolverine is hit with an attack, the maximum damage opposing characters can deal to Wolverine is their printed damage value. So you can't be perplexing up, you can't be empowering, you can't be enhancing. Protected, Pulse Wave. Wolverine can't be carried as a special damage power on everything but click 1. So he can only be carried for 1 click. But he does have Steel Energy across everything that is in his first click. Really high attack values. He's just so... I want to call this guy in. That's what I want to do with him. Alright. Next up, Cyclops. 4 range. That's it. 75 points. X-Men Brute Past. Eternal Struggle. When Cyclops is hit with a close attack, after resolutions, you may place him in an unoccupied square within 2 squares in line of fire. If you do, heal him 1 click. Modified damage +1 if targeting a character with a range of 0. So it's like the reverse. I love how these guys are reverse of each other. Blood Must Spill, Steel Energy, but with the range attacks, he's got that on everything except for click 1. And then Ritual Battle, Toughness, when Cyclops is hit with an attack, the maximum damage they can deal is their printed damage value, protected Pulse Wave. Cyclops can't be carried. So overall, neat little set in general. I like a lot of what it adds to the ID cards. Very solid inclusions. I like that even the commons are super potent as far as the game's concerned. It's going to be a good set. just to add on to the sideline, if anything. So, okay, so that's that's the X-Men set. I do enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. Canadian Nationals is coming. It's been the focus of my life. A little bit of room changing around. I'm no longer staying in the college dorms because an alternative method has presented itself to me. That is, it's that whole situation. If you get the option to stay on campus for a tournament and it's reasonably priced, you stay on campus. Can't argue. So, that is gnarly, dude. Alright. So with that, we'll move to questions. And I don't think the Troll the Metal Lab channel has... Ooh, that escalated. I feel like I egged that on. A little bit. There's so much going on in there. But yeah, again, apologies for this week that it's only the one voice. And good luck to PJ and friends. You guys are awesome, and I really hope nothing but the best for you and Kat. And the little Babby! Little Babby is coming! I had a question up. It's somewhere. It is somewhere. Oh, here we go. All right. So we start with a question on Facebook. If you're watching live, put in capital letters question in the chat so that I can catch it. If you're watching live and you're on the Discord and you're at a $5 and up patron, the link, not in the Discord, in the at the patron wall is the link to jump in if you're $5 and up. If you want to become a patron, check out us out at patreon.com/marriedwithclicks. And there's a lot of different valuations for anybody and your comfort level. So check that out if you are interested in supporting us directly and don't want to feel bad about running your ad block. You know who you are. Had a question pulled up, and then I lost it, and here it is. Okay, so Michael Fedor, speaking of patrons, our first and continuing longest-running patron. If you were power ranking an assassin team in modern age, what kind of grade would you give it? Meaning, did it get stronger with Red Hood and Slade Wilson? I know we'd be talking about it a lot more right now. If give me a second here, I'm gonna pull it up on HC Realms, and we'll do the whole kit and caboodle and just decide what we think about it because we got time. We're hardly, so we're gonna change this to modern. I'm gonna change that keyword to assassin. Assassin. All right, so what do we have? We have Alopex, pretty cool. We have the Orion female, and we have Uhura. Uhura's pretty cool. None of them really they're good, but they're not. We have the new Deadpool. Friendly characters named Wolverine can use Mastermind. Okay, well, cool. Guess who isn't an assassin is Wolverine. Moving on. Bullseye. Glass Cannon. He's a Bullseye. Use him as you will. Gwenpool isn't really on the high. We're just going to go through the characters and see what we think about them. Death's neat for 75 points. It does a lot for what he's going for. So I'm not going to say no to Death's Head. But we also have this Black Widow. The Prime. Pretty cool effect. For 30 points, you can take away a standard defense power. I like. A-okay, partner. Taskmaster's an okay assassin. I say okay, he's really good, but you also have to compare it on the scale of the modern competitive game. And one thing you're going to note is assassin is a much more limited martial artist keyword. And what that means is a lot of the guys are capable of either hitting a lot, hitting hard, but not being able to take as hard as dished. So Deathstrokes are always solid dial dudes that can deal out a whole lot of damage, but sometimes things go wrong for them. I don't see the Red Hood in here, oddly enough. Or were we talking about the Hood? No. Huh. So I was to give it an overall grade for strength in the modern age competitive metagame, I'd probably put it like a D-. just because of its squishiness and how like the competitive metagame goes. As far as fun factor and general gameplay, it's going to be a solid B plus. But if I was looking at competitive metagame, like as effective as the Black Widow is, she's a target and she takes up your prime slot. And just like the general build of this lacks a lot of its own support. You're not getting a whole lot of sources of prob. You're not, like, I think like Mad Harriet isn't even a what am I doing with my life? Like there's almost no prob in the theme at all. Oh, there's Rose Wilson, but it's very limited prob. That's a limited prob. Even Robin, the Damian Wayne. Like I don't think we got a bullseye. I'm just kind of trying to look for that all elusive. Okay, well we do have Gamora in the Avengers Infinity. That is a source of prob. So I can't take away from that. 65 points. But if you look at this is the thing where it's like you're gonna see this character across the board and it's gonna get its face blown off by like the current like 11 range astronomer, and they paid 15 more points than you, so they're ahead. Corvus Glaives, I think one of the harder ones to kill, but still not great. Proxima Midnight's got some beef, but again, is commonly outclassed in the game. So it's not that any of these are particularly bad. It's the class level of considering the competitive metagame, and it really kind of edges out a lot of these characters. So gotta put that into a factor. So it's not a team I wouldn't play at like a local. All right. Back to reality. All right. If there's anything else in here, I swear I saw a question in this madness. It said troll the Meta Lab. I didn't say troll each other. Might have to implement the put capital letters question in the Discord soon. No. Okay. So we're moving into the chat. Capital letters question for any question if you have a question for me. But something did kind of jump in there. Caught my eye. It was Bizarre Flow. Wants to know, just started playing, went all out on Avengers, Black Panther, and the Illuminati. Pulled the Iron Man and Gauntlet yesterday. Any advice on a good team to build around him? I like AIM dudes, so maybe an Avengers team. Yes, Avengers is probably the safest bet you can go with as far as any kind of early theme team that you're trying to be making strong plays with. Avengers is one of those keywords that has everything, because almost every single Marvel character has been an Avenger. So, yeah, just be ready for that, how Avengery the set is. And, yeah, I'd start there with that Iron Man specifically. His is the glove, if I remember correctly, that lets you choose powers and you might take damage for it. But, you know, he can be healed unlike his Captain America counterparts. So, a good start for a newer player as far as a high-level competitive, not necessarily competitive, but, like, strong start to the game for you to build a figure around and start to learn some building tactics. You know, one of the things with a character like that when you're a newer player is the trick to learn is you've spent more than half your points on that Iron Man. Do a lot of work with the other guys on your team to make him that much better, and you kind of you start to understand how a tentpole team works, and then you can start to spread all of that out. So, all right. In the Discord, Nathaniel wants to know, what are you looking forward to in the next generation? The Borg. I'm looking forward to, I think space robot cyborg zombies is one of the coolest things that ever came out of Star Trek Next Generation in the Borg. And I really am looking forward to seeing what we get out of the Borg and how they work as a unit. I've already seen like some of the smaller Borgs, and I like what they do, but they're not just quite, like, I feel like they're going to be a thing where it's like I have a Borg, Borg version 1. Now I got Borg version 2. Something's coming together. The Borg version 3. If it's anything like the old Star Trek card game where it's like, okay, well, if you have one of each Borg out, you're basically invincible. You ride your Borg cube across the universe and assimilate planets and win. So I think the types of Borgs that start to accumulate should really flash out at you as the key to things. So next up, Lucian Carter in the chat. I believe that is... I know that's one of the patrons, I think. But he wants to know if I'm going to play in any online tournaments. My schedule is a bear that I need to wrestle on a semi-regular basis. And it is, me and him are the two bears in this house. So that said, I'm going to do my best by the end of tournament season to become a semi-regular user on Roll20. But the problem I run into is that I've got a lot going on in my life, and I've got a lot of things that I do also want to do in addition to HeroClix. And so I feel like I do this on a semi-regular basis. But here we are on Monday, 9 o'clock, Meta Lab. After having spent a little bit of time with the family, we played a little Super Mario Maker 2 together. And then my Tuesdays and Wednesdays are going to be a little bit filled up until Thursday when I do Into the Mind of Madness sometimes. Friday, we'll see, I don't know. And then my weekends I have to reserve for family, that sort of situation, or for tournaments in reality. So, online tournaments are a hard thing for me to squeeze into my schedule, unfortunately. Chase Fields wants to know, any advice for anyone going into Regenesis as far as team building, onboard strategy, and any other challenges presented by the point total and action limits? All right. That's a very good and poignant thing to talk about. Is the first month being a 200-point focus format, you end up seeing Wolverine and Cyclops really kind of looking good. Wolverine more so than Cyclops. And the reason for that is that Wolverine will be free action healing off of his stop click. You're going to get him on the stop. He's going to heal. He's just going to be a nightmare. And it's almost unstoppable. The only thing I can suggest is if you can get 3 figures on your team, you got to focus all 3 of them on trying to kill a Wolverine at a time if you end up playing as 2. Or if you see a Wolverine, just focus fire him down. Blast him out of the water as best you can. Do not let yourself get down on characters. You need 3 characters minimum to take out Wolverine. And you're also going to need leadership to go with that, which means you need a Cyclops or you need a Wolverine. I don't think Wolverine actually has leadership, so even worse is you need to figure out how you're going to be able to get the action. So I think only 2 characters had leadership, and that was Cyclops and Magneto. Excuse me. So you are hard-pressed to find a way to take out the Wolverine. You can try to keep him at range. You can try to keep him at bay. But the problem is that the maps for month 1 as well, when you consider the shrunk-down game space that they give you to play, that's an uphill battle too. It's really, really hard to manage him. So, and the other thing as far as onboard strategy is brace yourself. A 2x2 map is not easy to play on. In fact, were it not for first round immunity, Angels can charge across the board. So what you have to brace yourself for is fast, in-your-face action, and be ready to fight, and be ready to know what to focus fire down. Cyclops and Wolverines have to go, and they've got stop clicks to get through, especially if they spent all their points on them. So you chew through those dials the best that you can. And yeah, good luck is the other thing I can say is good damn luck. Wolverine will be your nightmare, especially if he's on a Jean Grey, School of Higher Learning. So if you get that option, play Wolverine. Just do it. There's no reason not to play that theme team with the Wolverine. And I hope that kind of helps you get through the event with a little bit of sanity or a little bit of success. All right. So we're kind of winding down. And so if there's any questions, get them in now. Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping it up in about 12 and a half seconds here. Okay. So,
Everybody who's watching live, thank you very much. Everyone's watching the archive, thank you as well. I want to take a second to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/marriedwithglicks. Your support helps keep the lights on the show. And when I say the lights on, I mean the stream going and our motivation up and your action tokens flowing, as it were. Also want to thank our sponsors over at MajesticCCG.com. For $3 a month, join the Apex Insiders. It gets you access to brain dumps from some of the bests and some of the crazies in the game of HeroClix. There's been a lot of really good articles coming up recently in the post-U.S. Nationals and post-rotation era. It's right. It's after July 1st, guys, so we are post-rotation. Brace yourself. Check these articles out. See what's going on. And prepare yourself for the brand new video metagame. So, that said, thank you guys again. And remember, if you're coming to Canadian Nationals, we are currently 12 days away from the start. You should be traveling in about 11 days. So, brace yourself, get ready, and get some practice in, because practice will make your team better. Have a good night, everybody.